to me. WSRadio.com.
UTSanDiegoWSRadio.com presents the UT Community Spotlight Show with your host, Drew Schlosberg.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of UT San Diego, and we are back with Neville Billimoria. He's a Senior VP of Membership for Mission Federal Credit Union, better known as Community Leader par excellence over here. We're going to get that on his business card over here. But, Neville, we were talking about certainly the great leadership that Mission Federal Credit Union has exhibited for many moons since 1961 and continuing on to the 21st century. And there's no doubt 22nd century, 23rd century moving forward, you folks will do that. We talked a little about Mission Fed's title sponsorship of Junior Achievement Finance Park and what you folks did with the teachers at the San Diego County Fair. But before we get into some of the other wonderful things you have going down the road over here, it's always great to see chips off the old block, as we so to speak. And we all know that when our kids see the benevolent work that we do as parents in the community, and we really mean what we want to do, they're going to go ahead and do the same thing down the road. And we're honored to have in the studio with us today your son. Why don't you introduce him?
Well, this is Arman, and he's actually doing an internship right in line with what we're talking about. He's working with a company called Real World Scholars, Wicked Education, that's focused on providing real-world experience to kids. So, for example, High Tech High has a chemistry class. He can tell you more about how he's actually helping promote this. But they created soap. Through the Wicked Education program, they can now learn how to market the soap, sell the soap, get feedback on the soap, reproduce and scale the soap. They've got it in Vaughn's, and people have asked for this green tea soap, and they happen to be an audience member or consumer there who wanted it, and they gave her a free bar, and she was stoked. But the whole point is, just like we said, you can't teach riding a bike by watching it or reading it in a book. You've got to do it. All these kids say they want to be entrepreneurs, but by the time they get out of the educational system, that somehow gets lost. Here they're going to get a chance at a very early age to have that experience. So, Arman, you want to tell us a little bit about that experience?
Yeah. Definitely. Thank you for the awesome interview or introduction. But, I work with Wicked Education. I am an intern, and it is amazing bringing the whole business aspect of what we do and what parents do, basically, into classroom setting. It's unbelievable. Like my dad said, we go from taking an idea, like it could be soap, it could be a record label, it could be anything and everything. And we take that and we turn it into a business. So we go through marketing, production, everything. And it's just super cool to be able to do that and teach the world, how we need to do this.
Well, I think what's important about that, and you're spot on this, Arman, is the fact that, one, you're getting real-life skills, of course, to do these types of things. And here's a question I have for you. So you just started this internship, recently, right?
Yes, 2 weeks ago.
Right. So your dad's telling you about this internship, or you did the research, whatever, and you're going, what am I getting into now? Okay, it's one of my dad's ideas over here. It's got to be a good one over here, but what, in your short 2 weeks, what has surprised you? What have you learned most about yourself or about the internship?
Working with other people. I mean, it's just amazing to have all these different ideas come together. And sure, some people might not agree, but we managed to take all the ideas and work them around each other and integrate them so that we're able to get everything done.
Well, and with that skill set you just described is absolutely at the top of the list of what needs to happen. It's called collaboration and working together, and everyone talks all about it, and then you get into work and you don't even want to talk to the person sitting next to you, and then that's a surefire way for a company to be on the down elevator. But because people are going to have different opinions, they're going to get to it. But the ultimate is you got to be rowing in the same direction. How you get there, you may bump and weave, you may skin your knee and all that. But that skill set is so important, and I know adults as well as young folks too sometimes have a little bit difficult time with the collaboration aspect of it. So I think that's terrific. And I know, Neville, from the time I met you 13 years ago, that's all been about team for you.
Yeah, that whole collective wisdom idea, right? No one of us is as smart as all of us. And right. The anecdote is the jelly bean jar. So if we had a jelly bean jar here and we all guessed how many jelly beans are in there, on average we're 30% correct.
Right.
But if you aggregate all our input, you'll get close to 98% correct. So that just suggests, as we should know anyway, if we're going to solve large-scale world problems, we're going to need each other desperately. So we got to figure out how to work together better.
Well, and there's a lot of evidence behind that. This stuff actually works. Always amazes me is that when we know something works, okay, intuitively or actually in real life, and then we choose not to do that, you just shake your head on this. Arman, let me ask you this. So you're going to be a senior coming in, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So you're already probably getting ready for the skill set you're learning on this intern you're going to bring into the classroom in your senior year and this aspect of it. So entrepreneurialism is very important to you, correct?
Definitely.
Okay, if you were to wave the magic wand, this is probably not a fair question, and don't worry, it's only live radio, so you don't get a chance to think about this, but you're smart because you're a Billimoria. What would you say you'd like to be doing in 5 years and in 20 years?
In 5 years, I would like to be either working with the radio or working with live sound production in Hollywood with bands and upcoming musicians.
Good. So we're going to give you the mic right now. I'm taking off, and you can finish the show with your dad. Okay. So you got a 5-year head start. How about 20 years down the road?
20 years down the road, ending the music career and hopefully becoming an EMT.
Isn't that is spectacular? Now, that is a person that has certainly got some goals. And the beauty of it is when you record this and you say, wow, on July 10, 2015, I said X. And, of course, you'll have this link. It's going to live forever. And then in 5 years, can you believe, Dad, I said this about the radio, and look at this. Now I'm the leading DJ at this thing over here. And now in 20 years down the road over here, Neville, you'll be what? In 20 years, you'll be what, 40?
Yeah, 49 and a half.
49 and a half, right, holding is steady. And you go, do you remember, Arman, when you said you wanted to be, finishing up doing your music career, and now you're going to be an EMT? Maybe you'll own an EMT business. How's that sound?
That sounds cool.
No, that is all good on this. But, in all seriousness, Neville, it's all about, giving those opportunities to those, kids who are going to be our bosses, our community leaders, and our support down the road. Talk a little bit about 2.5 minutes. I want to talk about Max My Class.
Yeah, so another way to support our educational community locally. So every week, Mission Fed and Max FM gives away a $200 Visa gift card to a local school teacher to help them buy school supplies. As you know, budgets, while they've improved pretty markedly recently with the recent budget news from the governor and so on, there's still restrictions. A lot of teachers take money out of their own pockets to ensure their classes have supplies.
That's right.
This is another way to ensure that they can do the good work they can keep doing.
Well, and when you think about it, $200 goes a long way. And first and foremost, it's just the gesture, and it's we're here to support you. Once again, Mission Fed is at your shoulder to shoulder to help support this type of things. So now I understand you're opening a new branch in Carmel Mountain, and that makes me smile since I live in PQ.
We are. We've been opening quite a few branches. If you've been paying attention over the last 3 or 4 years, roughly. I
have a short attention span as you.
I don't mean you. I mean our listeners.
Okay. Beautiful.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying, that branches are downsizing and so on. Our banks are, and we're not. We're growing. We're growing our footprint in San Diego. We're exclusively San Diego based. We're not focused outside of San Diego. We believe there's a lot of opportunity here in San Diego. We know our branches are an important ingredient and element in that for convenience for our members. So yes, Carmel Mountain is our newest, and there'll be more on the horizon.
So is it open right now?
No, it's coming soon.
And how soon is soon? Are you allowed to say?
I don't know the date. I should have brought it with me. So
that's okay. We'll go with soon, and then we'll see how that goes. We got about 30 seconds to go. Talk about Fox Sports community highlights.
Okay, so, we're strong supporters of the Padres, and we have a partnership with them, as we do with many other people, over 100 nonprofits and causes that we support. But clearly Padres is a big name in our town, and through that, Fox Sports allows us to make check donations to local charities that we value their work and want to amplify their signal and story before Padre games. So it actually happens in Petco Park, and they get the benefit of having the crowd and it being broadcast in a way to, again, share the good work that our cause community, our not-for-profit community, the social sector is doing, and Mission Fed just allows us the luxury to amplify that.
Neville Billimoria, what a pleasure. We look forward to having you back on sooner than later. Arman, you're going to knock it dead, and I'm going to say, I knew you when. How's that sound?
Thank you, Drew.
Okay, you have a wonderful rest of the internship. Neville, we'll look forward to having you on sooner than later. Say hi to all our friends at Mission Fed Credit Union.
Thanks so much, Drew.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm Drew Schlosberg of UT San Diego, and you've been listening to the Community Spotlight Show on UT San Diego WS Radio. We are San Diego's online radio.